Well, welcome back to the trail and good morning to you. We are on what I like to call the Tolkien Way extended cut. I'll explain more about what the Tolkien Way is a little bit later on. We're on a 15.5 mile circular starting in Hurst Green. It's a little bit dark. It's just after 6 o'clock in the morning. Bit cool, bit chilly, but clear skies, so it's going to be a good one today. It's going to be a good one. Keeping my voice down because we're passing some houses. But yeah, quaint little places. So yeah, let's get to it, eh? It's a little bit dark, a little bit gloomy. We've got this hidden gem here. It's just this trail heading up towards Longridge Fell. Just incredible. Why is this not on the Tolkien Trail? And I'll explain more about that later. And my problems with this particular trail. Well, I've added this bit on and there's this, we're missing out here. It's fantastic. I wish I'd come a bit later. The daylight's not so good for the camera. Wow. We're getting a bit more now. It's just, you can see it. Lord of the Rings stuff here. Well, I'm going to be honest. Cobwebs. Blown away. Absolutely blown away this morning. Came around the corner, as you can see from the video, which won't give you a full representation. Sun just coming up over the hills. And just the mist in the valley. And the steam and I mean, it's still going. I want to carry on. We're heading up to Longridge Fell to the viewpoint. Once we're at that viewpoint, we'll be no doubt rewarded with another view. Oh my. Oh. In life, there are very few of these moments. And you have to hunt them down, you have to find them. And they just come up on you. If you look for them, and if you go after them, you find them. And they're just mind-blowing. I just saw it, took a few pictures, tried to capture it, tried to get the video, and then I just stopped, put the technology aside, just soaked it up for a few minutes. And if you're a vlogger or an Instagrammer or whatever you do, just remember to do that. Put the technology to one side for a minute and just take it in. You can just see, I mean, look at that. Seeing all Longridge Fell there. The sun is coming up. I mean, it's those moments when words fail you. Just stunning amounts of beauty. So yeah, I'm not against technology in the slightest. A lot of the stuff I see is on Instagram, and obviously I put content out there. But just my advice, don't forget that while you're out there, soak it up, let your eyes see it, breathe it in, feel it. philosophical on a Sunday morning. I mean, you can't fail to be moved by that level of beauty. Beauty. It's just fantastic. Steam settling down in the Ribble Valley. Quite literally, as the Bible says, the fool says in his heart there is no God. How can you look at this as a complete accident? Just a jumble of bits and pieces accidentally bumping into each other for a few million years and producing that nonsense. That is beauty in the creation. So, as I said, I've called this trail the Tolkien Way Extended Cut. Why, I hear you ask? Because originally the Tolkien Way is a 5.5 mile circular around Stonyhurst College, coming back along the River Ribble and up to the Shireburn Inn. I think it's the Shireburn Inn. I'm just going to turn you around because our old friend, you look over there, Winter Hill and Darwin Tower. Can't really see there, but that's along there. I just spent a few minutes trying to figure out which was Darwin Tower, and again I remembered it's been totally scaffolded, hasn't it? So it looks a bit different now. But yeah, that's south towards Chorley and then Darwin. Can I see Preston? Probably. You can always tell because there's two sort of high-rise towers, a block of flats, and my mate lives in them. Anyway, by the by, as I was saying, Tolkien Way, 5.5 miles. You can Google it. Kind of inspired by the old man Tolkien himself, author of the Lord of the Rings, who spent a lot of time at Stonyhurst College because his son was there, and it's rumoured that he wrote a lot of the original The Lord of the Rings draft there in one of the upper classrooms. So I've done it a few times, and I use it as a sort of beginner walk if people want to think about getting into hiking with me. So I'll take them on that because it's a challenging 6-mile route, and it gives a bit of everything to test you and to make you think, do I really want to pursue this? But I've never been satisfied with it, simply because obviously it's short. It's only 5.5 miles, and didn't see much inspiring me to think of Lord of the Rings. I know obviously now we think of New Zealand, we think of the movies, and then sadly we're going to have to start thinking about the Amazon version coming up, which I think is starting with the Silmarillion, which is a 1,000-year prequel, something like that. So I thought I'd go back to the maps and have a do at extending it a little bit. So I've turned it into a 15-mile circular, and straight away this morning there was the Tolkien inspired bit, this one long gravel path straight through all the beauty of the Ribble Valley, to give you those two overlooks. I mean, even this, we're up on Longridge Fell now. I mean, look at the views this morning. This should have been on the Tolkien Way. So I feel I've fixed it. And if any of you are interested in doing it, I can make the map available to you using the OS Maps app. You can make that map public. It's not public at the minute. So what we will do, rabbiting on here, we will do the extra bits, the extended cut that I've thrown in Longridge Fell and Jeffrey Hill, local sort of beauty spots, and then we're going to come back down and we're going to come into Stonyhurst College and pick up the original Tolkien Way, only missing the part from Hurst Green to Stonyhurst. Hurst Green's where we parked this morning, and then we'll complete the 5 miles, probably maybe 4.5, of the rest of the Tolkien Way for you to see, and finish at the Shireburn Inn, where I may partake of a pint of beer. So gate is on, and bit of bug spray because it's a little bit buggy, and we're just heading up onto this fell. I was hoping, oh heck, I was hoping for a track, and there was to begin with, and it seems to have vanished. So we're just going to push through, get to the top of that fell, and over there, barking like mad, are the kennels. And these kennels are well known to us because when we were doing our wild camping at Longridge Fell, these were the kennels that kept us awake at night. They literally bark all day long. So there we go. Right, found the track. Can just see it going up that way. That's a bit better. Could have done with the new boots. Well, they're not broken in yet. It's not as wet as it has been in the past. So I'd assume that this is some grouse butts maybe, or a really bad paintball site. Anyway, this is Gano Fell. All this area. A vehicle coming down the road. We're just cutting straight across north-northwest to pick up a permissible path to go east towards Longridge Fell. Well, that's Longridge Fell. The pine plantation. That's where in one of my previous videos you'll have seen us camping in there, wild camping, illegally. But that kennel Boy, did that keep us awake. It just bark, 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 bark all night. And I heard someone shouting at him, but he ain't got no control over them. So that's the plan. Let's pick up that path. We're going to go down, then back up. Yay! But yeah, I suppose this might be a grouse, be a good grouse shooting spot, but it's not on the map like it should normally be. Unless maybe they only put grouse butts on if they're a physical sort of stone, what's it called, feature. Oh, like some of those we saw on other videos, where it's like a ring of stones and you kind of get in it like a bunker. But these are just pallets, kind of thing I'd expect to see on a paintball site. Yeah, past the 3 mile mark now of our 15-mile trek. I will be stopping for some water and a quick snack, I think. Well, this is slow going, but here you can see Preston with its Deepdale Stadium and the 2 big flat towers. Whew, got a bit of a sweat on. Still heading up. Remind me when I get home, change the path. Might as well follow the road up. There's no path here. The path I was following vanished. Now I'm wading through this sort of bog moss and heather. Which thankfully it's not as wet as it would have been a few weeks ago. But yeah, definitely having a break at the top of here. Ooh! Well, that was fun. Crossed all that gorse. Yeah. Crossing some more now to get to a memorial here. But as soon as I stopped, I got swarmed. Little tiny flies. Did not care for the Avon skin so soft. They just barged right through it, so I'm just going to keep moving. And yeah, take a look at this, and we're already getting some views of the fells. Oh, man, that's nice. I'll turn you around in a sec. Look at the views here, stretching across there. This is what we came to see. It's just fenced off. Must be a grave of some kind. But wherever it is, it's gone. Lost to time. Here come the bugs again. Coming for a piece of me. So yeah. See, that fellland over there. So there you go. It's all the forest of Bowland, this. Sykes Fell, onto Crossdale Fell, and beyond. Wow, perfect weather. Soak it in. Just soak that in before the flies get me. You can just see them. And they found me. Oh, they're not biters, but they're bloody irritating, I'll tell you that. Yeah, so we're going to head down here. We're going to hit Jeffrey Hill. Another viewpoint there. Oh, fireflies. I don't know what they are. They're not midges. Yeah, right, onwards before I die. So this is Jeffrey Hill. And there's a viewpoint where those cars are, looking out that way. And we're going to keep moving because the flies have descended. But anyway, the viewpoint is that way, towards the Bowland Fells. Let's let this guy go past. So why have I done that? Why have I put that on the map to go down there? It's a classic Mardy manoeuvre, that. So I'll alter the map so that we come up this road. I'll just point to it there. Come up this road here, hit the viewpoint, and then come this way to then rejoin the fell up there. Because I've got myself coming down there, down the bottom of the fell, to then hike back up to meet the same point we were at seconds ago with the cairn. So, by the by, we'll when I get home, I'll adjust the map, take that out, do it better, follow the road, avoid all this hacking through the grouse butts over there, come down the road, hit the viewpoint on Jeffrey Hill, then take the permissible path, which obviously, Pilgrim bingo, ping! We had a mountain biker up here to the cairn, and then rejoin the path to Longridge Fell. That makes more sense. Shock and horror. I don't believe it. My feet are wet. Thank you, Solomon. I know I keep going on about it, but dry feet, man. It's like hiking 101. Dry feet. So, I said before, the new boots have come. Magnums they are, the Magnum Viper, 80 quid, 80 pound, and they're alright. I got some dubbing. I'll be giving them a buff again later, soften that leather up, nice and flexible and waterproofed, and then we're going to be out and about in them. I need to stop talking about the boots. I just need to get over it, let it go. Let it go. Now, snack on the go. I've got that out of my bag. Yeah, sorry. Can't take me anywhere. Gulp some water before the flies figured out where I was. And I'll eat this on the go. It's quite cool. I think the skinny whip. Anyway, whatever they are, come from the range. Mint chocolate cereal bar. Delightful. What more would we want? I just saw a pair of deer. And I thought they were just going to come up this trail here. I kind of got the camera ready and waiting, but yeah, they got much sharper eyes than I have. Probably saw me a mile off. That would have been a good shot. But yeah, all in the fell, the pine plantation there. So confusingly, there's two, if you can call it, two Longridge Fells. One at Jeffrey Hill that we just passed, and then if you go east on the map, you'll see the bigger plantation, also called Longridge Fell. Whether it's classed as all Longridge Fell, I don't know, but each fell has a different name. So there are two, in theory. But yeah, so this is the plantation that we camped in, somewhere deep in there. You can see why. It's very thick, it's very overgrown. You can't really see in from the outside. Good for stealth. And hammock camping, perfect. But that's the problem. You're doing it illegally. The plantation is owned by a plantation firm where they harvest the wood, obviously. And what we noticed after a bit was it wasn't just us camping there. There were others. And people who didn't practice no trace, leave no trace. And if you're unfamiliar with that concept, it is literally leave no trace that you've been there, down to even taking all your rubbish, not having a fire, but if you do, burying the remains, and then even brushing the grass back up where you've trampled it. Literally leave no trace. And I understand the wild camping community love to do that, and they do it properly, and they follow the country code to some degree, but of course, for everything there's a bunch of clowns who are going to ruin it. And there were times that we go in there and just find an open fire pit filled with rubbish that was never going to degrade. So anyway, that's another reason I stopped doing it. I don't want to encourage that. So as you can see, just showing you the inside of the plantation. This is what people do. Push the wall down. Maybe they were climbing over it, just happened to knock it down because they are quite fragile. And then tore the barbed wire away so they can get inside. And I did spot some traces of sort of burned wood. I can understand the temptation, but not necessarily the right thing to do, guys. Anyway, not preaching on that particular front. It's not a world ender, but it is kind of annoying when we're trying to enjoy these kind of places. And all that'll happen is they'll just block it off completely one day, make it inaccessible to anyone. Leave no trace, guys. Leave no trace if you're going to do it. A bit of a tall one. Boosh! Look at that view. So that was Spire Hill, and that was a trig point. For some reason elevated. Overlooking obviously the Bowland Fells, and I wasn't hanging around. Keep doing that, it's my new one. Sorry, got a bit annoying. I'm not hanging around because there's a family following up behind. Very polite, said hello. But it's Sunday and we're in 2021, second year of the virus, and everybody's a hiker now. Everybody wants to enjoy the great outdoors. It used to be my thing and your thing. But anyway, power to them. I'm hoping that next year we'll start to see people going abroad again, and not so much staycationing. Notice the price of tents and camping gear has gone through the roof now, because they're in high demand. But anyway, power to anyone who comes out here to enjoy this. Just do it properly, do it safely. Morning. All right, mate. Yeah, I'm just going to come out and say it. I have totally fixed this route. I mean, Lord of the Rings, eat your heart out. Not another mountain biker. I'm getting flooded with mountain bikers. It's a perfect route for them. Look at the beauty. I have fixed the Tolkien Way. You're welcome, by the way, you're welcome. A little tweak to the map early on. It's a wonderful route, this. So we're heading towards Hare Hill anyway. Hare is in the rabbit, Hare Hill. Now we're going to dogleg southeast, heading towards, well, basically in the direction of Stonyhurst College. Well, yeah, at some point here I'm going to stop for a break. Yeah. Am I near the halfway mark? No, I think so. I've passed the 5 mile mark back there, but we did chop a few off. Not a few miles, but we chopped some distance off. I'm not doing my stupid detour. So, I love it. Love it. So here we are, trail I was looking for. And obviously the track is from the logging or the harvesting of pine. So I'm going to pick this up and carry on Hare Hill. This is like mountain biker's paradise, this. That's another 2, 3, 4 since I joined the track. Can't fault the guys. As you see, this has all been cut back. Fresh ones are starting to grow. Look at this little guy. Hey, little guy. The heather's growing up beside me. Dare I repeat myself? I love it. Love it. The colours, the smells. Oh, one tree just left there. It's stripped bare. So yeah, I'm in my happy place, as they say. Does look utterly devastated, doesn't it? Where they've completely felled, just left all the trash there. Don't know why. Feel free to enlighten me. But yeah, the uglier side of it. Sure, it has a purpose. So I just engaged in a bit of faffery, battery change for the camera, and some water. Now, I've been meaning to have this rant for a while. I'm a massive fan of Lord of the Rings, and I mean specifically Lord of the Rings. I wasn't a fan of the Silmarillion or the Hobbit, and I think people fall into the Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings camp, but I kind of like both. Harry Potter wins on storyline simply because it's a lot more structured. There's a lot less faults, and yes, I'm going there. There are faults in the Lord of the Rings, and it's obvious at times when reading the book that you can see the transition from children's book, so it was meant to be a sequel to The Hobbit, which was intended and published as a children's book, and you can see the transition that as he's writing it, he becomes aware that it's not quite a children's book anymore and moves into being an adult fantasy fiction. And Stephen King was right when he said he is the father of all fantasy fiction and we're just trying to fill the gaps. And it is true, everyone who comes after him is pretty much trying to write their own Lord of the Rings. And I include Harry Potter and Game of Thrones in that. All good in their own right, but all sort of coming out of the template that Tolkien left behind. But yeah, I enjoy the books for what they are. They do have the problems. I know people have given them a bit of grief over the years. But yeah, that's my take on it. Not a Game of Thrones fan, sorry. Read the books. Guy didn't even finish the series. Only the TV people, HBO, they finished it for him, and he claims that's not quite the ending he intended. Why bother? And hours and money of my life that I can't get back. Though they were very well written. So Dan, my brother, he's a massive George R R Martin fan, so I'm sorry. You know my feelings. They are well written, but the guy could have at least ended it. Back on the road. Bit of road walking. And while I'm on the subject, a lot of people get confused about the allegorical nature of Tolkien when compared to his other mate, old C.S. Lewis. Apparently they were quite close friends. They helped each other out with the works. And whereas C.S. Lewis, author of the Chronicles of Narnia, got his hand, which was very heavy, and heavy-handedly wrote a Christian allegory. No mistake in that. Tolkien claims to have never been a fan of that style, never wanted to write allegory. What claimed to be a believer, I don't know. I try not to judge other people's beliefs when it comes to fellow Christians. I don't know, only God knows. But in Lord of the Rings you can't escape the Christology, big word for you. Sort of the themes, the types of Christ in Lord of the Rings, and if you're going, then I'm sorry, they are there. You have the death and resurrection theme in Gandalf. Sorry, spoiler. Obviously he dies fighting his greatest enemy, sacrifices himself on behalf of the Fellowship, only to return, to be sent back in white. All in white, purified. So that's a big one. I just paused in my monologuing. Spotted this. How lovely. Watch, you know not the day or the hour when the Master returneth. Full verse in its context will be down below here. But yeah. Pray for the soul of James Wells. Oft evenings clad, make mornings sad. Died February 12th, 1834. It's alright, I'm bumpy there. That's called taking a verse out of context. I get the impression that verse is implying that you don't know the hour you're going to die. Well, that's not what Jesus was saying. He was saying that watch, be on guard as a Christian. You don't know which hour Jesus is going to return in the second coming. People will be eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage as in the days of Noah, and then it'll just happen. You won't see it coming, except the Christian who needs to be aware that it could happen this hour. Could happen before I even get back, or it might not happen for another 1,000 years. I know a lot of my brothers are currently thinking with the situation we're in now that yeah, that time is even closer, but you don't know. Nobody knows the hour. Stepped off to take in the vista. So yeah, you don't know. You don't know the hour in which he's going to return. Another 5 mountain bikes just came past, interrupting my monologuing. So yeah, we've got a right turn coming up. It's going to take us to Stonyhurst Park. I suspect is a golf course. So get your bingo cards ready. The one we'll tramp through, and that'll bring us out to Stonyhurst College, and we will be on the official Tolkien Way. Well, mine's better, you've got to admit, so far. Won't need a map for that, walked it that many times. This is for you guys. Right, we've got a good stretch of track now. Part 2 of my monologue. So, character of Aragorn. Obviously, the exiled king. He is the rightful king of Gondor, but he's obviously been dethroned. Lives in exile, an outcast. So look at him, nothing special. Doesn't look interesting at all, doesn't look kingly, but knows he is the rightful heir. And in the end, obviously, takes his throne and rules magnanimously over Middle-earth. Who could that remind me of? And obviously, with the ring, remember the important thing, the ring was not destroyed by Frodo. Providence destroyed it in the form of Gollum, which even Gandalf admitted in the Mines of Moria, that there was a higher power working for good, ordaining that Bilbo would get the ring and it would fall into the hands of Frodo, and Frodo would then carry it beyond his own strength, right to the very end, when Gollum would then, foreordained, destroy the ring. So, of course, Tolkien himself drew on Wagner's The Ring as his inspiration, but whether he likes it or not, the Christology is there, and I could go on, but I'm not going to. That's enough monologuing for one Tolkien trail. But there you go, you can think about that. It's all for free. So, anyway, we're heading down this path. This next farmhouse. Oh, that sun is warm. Turn you back round. The sun's warm, right on the back of my neck. And then we're going to go south, Stonyhurst Park, and look for somewhere appropriate to have dinner. It's alright, no honour guard is needed. Thank you very much, I'm just a man. Whoa, whoa. Stay there. Whoa. You're not having my lunch. I'm going to end up leading them right to the gate, I know it. What am I? A Pied Piper of cows? Got fluffy ears, that one. Oh, ambush. So in the interest of honesty, I completely fluffed that up. So I found that beautiful spot with the bridge, scrambled down to it, back up the other side, realised I was right where I was this morning, where I saw that beautiful sunrise. I'm not supposed to be going that way, so I've trekked back up. Now I'm going to cut across the footpath there into Stonyhurst Park. So yeah, new trail, even I fluff up, not paying attention. Right, let's press on. Really need some lunch by now. Here we go, back on track. And according to the floor, I'm not the first person to make that mistake. Real over the top. Let's go. That's a bingo. Lovely park bench there. I wonder if I could use it for my lunch without getting a golf ball to the face. Anyway, on we go. This might actually be a first. There is nobody playing golf. I stand corrected. There's some over there. I haven't reached this hole yet. Well, I'm going to leave them behind. Footpath's clearly well marked, which is good. That's a tight squeeze. Legend. Yeah, damn straight. Probably the greatest amount of overkill I've ever seen. So, you're welcome. I've never even been in there before. Like Hogwarts. Beautiful architecture, man. Why would you make a Tolkien trail and not include that? So you're welcome. I did, for you guys. Anyway, let me turn you around. So, we would normally come from over there. This is officially the Tolkien Way as laid out on the internet and whoever organised it. So I'm definitely now going to sit on these steps here, have a break, have my lunch, I was going to say breakfast, have my lunch, then present you with the leftovers of the Tolkien Way, the mere 5 miles left. Spread the word. If people are going to do a Tolkien trail, you do mine, alright? You want all that good stuff right at the beginning. Oh yeah, let's go find somewhere to sit down. This'll do, right there. Broomhead. Oh, a wedding on at the church. Nice place to get married, I suggest. The usual ham, cheese, pickle. Brother, fell brother. Bingo. It's like the minute I sat down, the world, his wife, who were over there getting married, and the kids, the dog, all decided today was the day to walk the Tolkien trail. I expect it's going to be busy, but they have missed the best bit. You haven't. Mounted rescue out already for these people. It's delightful. I could have a nap now. So, officially now, the original Tolkien Way, 5.5 miles. Obviously, we've cut off maybe a mile or so. I'm going to follow from Stonyhurst. I'm sure he said Sandyhurst before. Stonyhurst. People put ideas in my head, confuse me. So anyway, we're going to go down here to the left, and we're heading basically towards the River Ribble to pick up the Ribble Way. We'll then bank around, put us back on the first green path. It's all pleasant, it's all paved, as it were. So as I suspected, it's busy everywhere I turn. There are people, and it's hard to get footage, hard to get video. Anyway, the River Ribble, which is what we'll be following all the way back round until we just reach near the pub, and then we hit north to come up alongside the pub. But yeah, just going to keep motoring, stay in my position in the queue. Anyway, because you know my geography is so damn terrible, you'd know that that wasn't the River Ribble. It was in fact the River Hodder. Hodder! Game of Thrones reference. And it's feeding into the Ribble further up, which we will see where the two rivers join. It becomes the Ribble, heading straight out. Well, it doesn't become the Ribble. The Ribble's coming all the way down, and the Hodder joins it, and then out to sea. Right out at Preston Docks. So yeah, I was taking the mick out of someone behind me in my mind. Two guys behind me in loafers. It's no gear whatsoever, just walking. But they managed to catch me up. So, every credit. So this is one of the problems I have with the trail. It's just a gravel road. It's tilt you down a bit. And it's like this for the majority of it. I fail to see divine inspiration for Lord of the Rings. And I think what we did this morning had more of that feel to it. And it was just on the other side of the college. It's a missed opportunity in my opinion. I know I'm railing this route, but I do think it's useful if you're just looking for a nice short stroll, but expect some gravelly road. Not quite sure how those two got up there. You notice them sat on the bridge. Well, yeah. So now the route comes off from the River Hodder, mainly because I think that's inaccessible. And then we're going to take the road up, dogleg into another field, come back down, and then we'll be on the Ribble Way itself. I think I've mentioned before, so I might be repeating myself. The Ribble Way was on my list, but the problem is the first day at maximum mileage ends in the middle of Preston, and I think I have to draw a line at getting accommodation 3 or 4 miles from my house. So I've kind of walked the first and second days as day walks. I've not made my mind up whether to do it as a through hike, and somehow I just can't get past that last bit, the first bit should I say. What do? Do I go home? It makes more sense to go home, in which case it's not a through hike, is it? So it's on the list, but pretty far down on the pecking order. But this bit now will take us all the way around, following the Ribble, not the Hodder. I really should have concentrated more in geography. Anyway, I'm in a bus stop. Not because I'm waiting for a bus. Well, I'll stop this from turning into a death march. That's what happens when you try and overtake people. Anyway, Wolfer boys have caught me up. They're going to jump in front. Managed to catch up with them too, who I saw when I was having my brew. I hate walking like that. I hate it. Just keep seeing the same people over and over again. So we'll let Wolfer boys in front, I think. There we go. The official symbol of the Ribble Way. So yeah, we're on it. So here we go. Over this field after a short climb. And whoever owns the land has considerately paved this part that's coming up. On the heels, hot on the heels of Wolfer boys. Who else we got? Oh, the older couple. And a man, two guys, an older man and a not as old, who I'm sure will go in the opposite way. Confused. Anyway, this is footpath royalty right here. Oh, it doesn't compare. Oh wait, I'll look over my shoulder here, guys. So, Stonyhurst College, forming the backdrop there. But yeah, it doesn't compare to the Pendle. Hang on, there's too many names in my head. The Pennine Bridle Path we were on when we did the Rossendale Way. Remember that cobbled yellow brick road? Oh yeah, this originally when I first did it was just a bog. So obviously the landowner put a thinking cap on and did this. So every credit to him. Well, it's clouded over as promised in the weather report. Of course, up with two who are having the lunch. Not seen was the loafer boys yet. I don't know where they are. Or maybe when I round this corner. But again, like I was saying, very gravelly track road. Still on the River Hodder, and soon round this corner it's going to join the Ribble. Well, this is officially part of the Ribble Way, and it's looking nice. It's got a nice flow to it. You can just see it between the trees. But yeah, it's gone quiet now. People have sort of spaced out between walking. So we're approaching the 13-mile mark of our route, the extended cut. Leaves only 2 left back to the car, see what I mean? Yeah. So that's Hacking's Hall, the big building at the back. And it's a holiday park now. So you've got the camping side here and then caravans further up. It's rammed. Isn't that weird? Oh, I found the loafer twins. We'll overtake them. Gotta respect this guy. Far from the madding crowd. That's me, that. That's exactly what I would do. Anyway, heading towards Jumbles Rock. Or Jumbles Rocks. This is a nice house. It's nice and secluded if it wasn't for this footpath. Can't do that, I don't have the tea for that. Sorry, just bear with me. Oh no. Oh no, no. Hang on, I know you're over my shoulder. Sloth. I'm pretty sure we have that guy. Maybe? Maybe I don't. We'll check when we scan it in. Anyway, here we go. Sour bad boy. Oh. Dropped him. Oh, sour. Alright. Not the easiest thing to do, one-handed. Oh man. Ugh. Well, yeah, blah 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 blah. There's the aqueduct. You shall not pass! Yeah, pretty much. Oh, heavy breathing. Uphill, all the way to the pub. She's just up there. As you can see, the view behind me. We take one last look. And then onto the pub. She's just up here. So it's a bit of a steep climb at the end. I guess it gets your thirst up. Oh, 15.6 miles precisely. But chops a little bit off early on. Still, good day out. Well guys, we're all done. We're back at the car. Now, I would have been enjoying a pint right now, but the Shireburn Arms decided, in its infinite wisdom, to shut for the wedding party we saw before at Stonyhurst College. What pub in the right mind shuts the whole pub for one wedding party when you're on a busy walk on a bank holiday Sunday? I've seen walker after walker, couples just bypassing the pub, going straight to the Millie's ice cream and cafe parlour. Shireburn, you let me down. I'd gone in, there were no signage, they just left me stood at the bar till somebody told me. Anyway, by the by, we bashed that one out. Good walk. I fixed it for you. Fixed the, let me just put you on so I can see you. Fixed the route for you. Mate, loads better. More Lord of the Ringsy. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, if you do want the map, you want to know exactly where I went, you'll have to leave a comment below and I'll post the link to the GPX file for the Ordnance Survey app. Anyway guys, I'm going to eat this ice cream, drink my sparkling water, and I guess I'll see you next time on the trail.